advanced knowledge of mathematics and astronomy, and their fascinating religious beliefs. One thing that often gets overlooked is the fact that the ancient Egyptians kept a lot of secrets. In this video, we take a look at some of these secrets and try to uncover what they might have been hiding. Let's start. The Voynich Manuscript. The Voynich Manuscript is a mysterious book that was allegedly written by an unknown author in the early 15th century. It is named after the book dealer who purchased it in 1912. What makes this manuscript so intriguing is that it is written in a script that has never been deciphered, and it appears to describe a world that is completely alien to our own. The book contains over 240 pages filled with strange illustrations of plants, animals, and other worldly creatures. Some believe that the Voynich manuscript is a hoax, while others claim that it is a genuine record of a lost civilization. If the latter is true, then the ancient Egyptians could have been far more advanced than we give them credit for. The Baghdad Battery. The Baghdad Battery is a collection of clay jars that were discovered in the 1930s near the ancient city of Baghdad. These jars are believed to be one of the earliest examples of batteries ever created. Each jar is about 13 centimeters tall and has a small hole drilled into the top. When archaeologists examined the jars, they found that they contained a copper tube, a stone, and a piece of linen. The copper tube would have acted as the positive terminal and the stone as the negative terminal, while the linen would have acted as an insulator. When all of the parts were put together, the jars formed a simple battery. Some have speculated that the ancient Egyptians knew how to harness electricity, but there is no evidence to support this theory. It is possible that the Baghdad batteries were simply used for electroplating or for creating static electricity. But without further evidence, it is hard to say for sure. The Antikythera mechanism. The Antikythera mechanism is an ancient Greek device that was discovered in a shipwreck off the coast of the Greek island of Antikythera. This device is also one of the earliest known examples of a complex mechanical calculator. The mechanism is made up of a series of gears and dials that can be used to calculate astronomical positions. It is believed that the Antikythera mechanism was used to predict eclipses and other astronomical events. The age of this mechanism dates back to the 2nd century BC, which means that it was created over 1800 years ago. It is not fully understood how the ancient Greeks were able to create such a complex device without modern technology. However, it is believed that they accomplished this feat through sheer ingenuity and a deep understanding of mathematics and engineering. The Antikythera mechanism is now on display at the National Archaeological Museum in Athens. The Rosetta Stone. The Rosetta Stone is a large piece of black basalt that was discovered in 1799 by Napoleon's army during their campaign in Egypt. This stone is famous because it contains the first 5 lines of a decree issued by an Egyptian priest in the year 196 BC. What makes this decree so important is that it is inscribed in 3 different scripts: hieroglyphic, Demotic, and Greek. Hieroglyphic was the formal writing system used by the Egyptian priesthood, while Demotic was a more informal script used by ordinary people. Greek was the language of the ruling class in Egypt at the time. The Rosetta Stone is important because it allowed scholars to decipher hieroglyphics. Before its discovery, hieroglyphics were a complete mystery to Western scholars. They didn't know how to read them or even what they were supposed to represent. With the help of the Rosetta Stone, however, scholars were finally able to unlock the secrets of hieroglyphics. Today, the Rosetta Stone is one of the most famous artifacts in the world. It is on display at the British Museum in London. The Great Pyramid of Giza. The Great Pyramid of Giza is the oldest and largest of the 3 pyramids at the Giza necropolis. It was built as a tomb for the 4th dynasty Egyptian pharaoh Khufu and is the oldest of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. The pyramid is made up of over 2 million limestone blocks, each weighing an average of 2.5 tons. It is believed that it took around 20 years to build, from around 2580 to 2560 BC. The purpose of the pyramid was to serve as a tomb for Pharaoh Khufu. According to legend, his body was placed in a sarcophagus made of red granite in the center of the pyramid. However, no trace of his remains has ever been found. The interior of the pyramid is a maze of tunnels and chambers. The most famous chamber is the Queen's Chamber, which is located on the second level of the pyramid. There are several theories about the purpose of this chamber, but it is generally agreed that it was not used for burial purposes. Instead, it may have served as a storage room or as a place for rituals to be performed. The Great Pyramid of Giza is one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world. Every year, millions of people from all over the globe come to see this amazing monument. The Sphinx of Giza. The Sphinx of Giza is a large statue with the body of a lion and the head of a human. It is believed to have been built around 2050 BC, making it over 4,500 years old. The purpose of the statue was to protect the Giza Plateau, which housed the pyramids of Giza and the nearby Sphinx. According to legend, the statue came to life at night and roamed the plateau looking for anyone who trespassed. Over the centuries, the Sphinx has suffered much damage. Its nose was destroyed in 1378 by an Arab who was angry that the statue had been turned into a shrine. In 1400, the Arab Sultan Hassan al-Alami restored the statue, and in 1881, the British Egyptologist Howard Vyse restored its paws. The Book of the Dead. The Book of the Dead is a collection of spells and incantations that were designed to help the dead person's soul navigate the underworld. It is believed that the book originated around 2300 BC and was used until around 100 AD. The spells in the book covered everything from protecting the dead person on their journey through the underworld to helping them to be reborn into a new body. The Book of the Dead was not a single book, but rather a collection of texts that were copied and shared among the Egyptian people. Many of the spells were adapted from earlier sources, while others were composed specifically for the dead person whose body was being buried. The Book of the Dead is an important source of information for what the ancient Egyptians believed about the afterlife. It shows that they believed in a world where the sun god Ra sailed every day across the sky. They also believed that the soul consisted of several parts, including the Ka, which was the vital force or life force, and the Ba, which was the personality or individuality of the person. The sarcophagus of Osiris. The sarcophagus of Osiris is one of the most mysterious artifacts ever discovered in Egypt. This coffin-like structure was found in the middle of the desert in 1936 by a team of French archaeologists led by Raymond Weil. What makes this sarcophagus so interesting is that it is covered with strange symbols and hieroglyphics that have never been deciphered before. Some believe that the sarcophagus may contain the actual remains of Osiris, the Egyptian god of the dead. Others believe that it may simply be a burial chamber for a pharaoh or other high-ranking official. The sarcophagus is made of black granite and is over 18 feet long. It is decorated with scenes from Egyptian mythology, including the story of Osiris's death and resurrection. The identity of the person buried inside the sarcophagus is unknown. However, some believe that it may have been Pharaoh Akhenaten, who ruled Egypt from 1353 to 1336 BC. Thanks for watching. See you next time.